Howdy, friend. Sam Houston here, hoping you're living in high cotton. And if you're lucky enough to be in Texas, I know you're most of the way there. Now enjoy your daily dose of Texas history and Texas pride.
Howdy, friend. Welcome back to the Feed Bandit podcast and your Texas History Roundup for February 28th. In 1845, the U.S. Congress passed the Texas Annexation Resolution, and Andrew Jackson Donaldson was immediately sent to Texas to encourage acceptance. Texas became a U.S. state on December 29th, 1845. And hopefully at some point in the not-too-distant future, Texas will become a republic again on her own. When that will be, I don't know. But of course, we wholeheartedly advocate that here at the Feed Bandit podcast and Texas First Outdoors. Always remember, Texas first. In 1859, Anson Mills submitted a street map for a settlement called El Paso, but the community had been known variously as Ponce's Rancho, Franklin, and Smithville. The area, both sides of the Rio Grande, had been called El Paso del Norte since 1581. The community south of the river kept that name until 1888 when it was renamed Ciudad Juarez to avoid confusion. In 1888, El Paso del Norte was renamed Ciudad Juarez to avoid confusion with El Paso, which was north of the Rio Grande. This new name was in honor of President Benito Juarez. The Spanish first arrived in the area in 1581 and referred to it as El Paso del Norte for the pass between two mountain ranges to the north. For more than 2 centuries, development was mainly on the south side of the river, but after the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, settlement north of the river accelerated. In 1905, St. Louis dentists David Morrow and T.G. Bradford received a charter to establish the State Dental College in Dallas, later Baylor College of Dentistry. This was in opposition to local dentists who feared competition. Until this time, the common path to becoming a dentist in Texas was by apprenticeship. The college's first 30-week term began in October in a building on Commerce Street. In 1946, the Girls Rodeo Association, renamed the Women's Professional Rodeo Association in 1982, was organized in San Angelo by 23 women. Its achievements include having over 600 rodeos agree to offer women prizes equal to those for men and holding women's barrel racing finals at the National Finals Rodeo. The WPRA remains the oldest organization of female professional athletes in America. And finally, in 1993, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms raided David Koresh and his Branch Davidians, murdered David Koresh and his Branch Davidians at their Mount Carmel compound a few miles east of Waco. The foiled raid resulted in the deaths of 4 ATF agents and 6 Branch Davidians. 7 weeks later, this is not when they completely murdered them. That was 7 weeks later, on April 19th. A second assault, this time by FBI agents, resulted in the compound being consumed by fire and the deaths and the murder of 76 Branch Davidians, including Koresh. Yeah, that was a shame. The federal government is totally responsible for that. Should have never happened. But that's what happens when the federales get out of control, and we the people do not, we the people let it happen, basically. That was such a shame. Not saying am a Branch Davidian or anything like that, or agreed with whatever the hell it was that they believed, but they were definitely done wrong that day. All right, well, that was your Texas History Roundup for February 28th. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll catch you back here tomorrow on the next one. You take care.
Well, there you have it. If you like our podcast, check us out at feedbandit.com. There you'll find awesome Texas First outdoors gear and apparel. Your purchase helps support the Bandits and keeps this podcast on the air, fighting for you and for Texas. Remember, preserve the tradition, protect the legacy. Until next time.